You are already dead. You just do not know it yet. The man who chains himself to comfort is a prisoner who mistakes his shackles for a throne. He believes he has conquered life when, in truth, life has conquered him. He sits upon cushions of idleness, feasting on the crumbs of half-lived days, and calls it contentment. But I tell you this, comfort is the coffin of the soul. There is a rot that sets in when a man ceases to strive. It is not the rot of the grave, for the body still walks, still breathes, but the spirit withers. The fire dims. The eyes, once bright with hunger, grow dull with surrender. And what remains is not a man, but a husk, a thing that moves but does not live. You are not made for ease. You were forged in struggle, baptized in fire, meant to wrestle with giants and scale mountains. Yet you have traded your birthright for a warm bed and a full belly. You have bartered your destiny for the illusion of safety. And what have you gained? A life without scars is a life without stories. A soul without calluses is a soul without strength. I have walked among the living dead, men who breathe but do not fight, who exist but do not rise. They are ghosts in daylight, haunting their own lives, whispering excuses where there should be thunder. Tomorrow, they say. When the time is right, they lie. But time does not wait. The clock is a thief, and it will steal your last breath before you have dared to use your first. Rise. Now, before the rot takes root, before comfort becomes your coffin. Most men die at 25, but are not buried until 70. There is a fate worse than death, the slow decay of a life never truly lived. It is the curse of the half-lived life, the tragedy of potential left to wither like fruit on the vine, unpicked, uneaten, rotting in the sun. You were meant for more than this. You were meant to burn, to roar, to leave a mark upon the earth that time itself could not erase. Yet here you stand, or worse, here you sit, waiting for permission to begin. Waiting for a sign, for the stars to align, for the world to bow and say, now, at last, you may live. Fool, the world does not care if you rise or fall. The stars do not weep for your hesitation. There is no permission to be seized but the permission you grant yourself. And yet, you delay. You bargain. You tell yourself that the hour is not yet come, that the fire in your chest is but a passing fancy. But I tell you this, the fire is your soul crying out for its purpose. The restlessness you feel is not madness. It is the divine discontent of a spirit meant for battle. You were not made to linger in the shallows. You were made to plunge into the depths, to wrestle with Leviathan, to return with scars and stories, or not return at all. The clock is ticking. The grave does not negotiate. Will you die with your music still inside you? Every man is born onto a battlefield. The only choice is whether he will fight or flee. There is a war raging inside you, a war between the man you are and the man you could become. It is a war fought in silence, in the secret chambers of the soul, where no one sees your cowardice or your courage. You feel it, do you not? The gnawing in your gut when you waste another hour, the sting in your chest when you betray your own potential, the voice that whispers, "This is not who you were meant to be." That voice is not your enemy, it is your ally. It is the bugle call of your destiny sounding the charge. Yet you play the deserter. You numb yourself with trifles, with drink, with the empty chatter of fools. You flee the front lines and take refuge in distraction, as if forgetting the war will make it disappear. But the war does not end because you refuse to fight. The enemy does not pause because you close your eyes. The battle is now. The enemy is within. and the only surrender is death. You were born for the summit, yet you camp in the foothills and call it home. There is a mountain before you. You have seen its shadow all your life, felt its presence in your bones, in the restless nights when something within you whispers of heights unclaimed. But you have turned your face from it. You have built your house in the lowlands, where the air is thick and the view never changes. You tell yourself the climb is too steep, the path too treacherous. You point to others who have tried and failed, as if their failure binds you. But the mountain does not care for your excuses. It stands unmoved by your hesitation. It was there before you drew breath, and it will remain long after your name is forgotten. The only question is this: will you die at its base, never knowing what strength was in you? Or will you press upward through the thinning air until the world unfolds beneath you and you understand, at last, why the climb was necessary? Every man meets his mountain. The coward curses it. The conqueror climbs it. A soul without discipline is a fire left to burn unchecked. It will either consume everything or gutter out in smoke. You were given a spark, a divine ember placed in your chest the day you drew first breath. It was meant to be fed, to grow into a blaze that would light your path and warm those who walked beside you. But you have neglected it. You have let the winds of laziness and distraction blow against it until now it flickers, weak and uncertain. A fire untended does not stay alive. It smolders, then dies. And what is left but cold ash? What is a man without his fire? A hollow thing, a shadow moving through the world without heat, without light, without purpose. I tell you now, tend your flame. Feed it with discipline, with courage, with the hard wood of effort that does not yield to the first strike of the axe. Let it roar. Let it burn so brightly that others must shield their eyes when you pass. For the world is dark enough already. It does not need another man who let his fire go out. Time does not forgive. It only collects. Every day you postpone your purpose, the interest grows. Every morning you wake and say, "Not today," the debt mounts. You think you're buying time, but you are only borrowing against your own life, and the payment, when it comes, will be extracted in regret. The man who waits for perfect conditions will wait until his bones are dust. The woman who hesitates until all fear is gone will hesitate until her name is spoken only in whispers by those who remember her faintly. Do not deceive yourself. There is no right time. There is only now, this hour, this breath, this moment, when the choice is still yours to make. The clock is a merciless creditor. Will you pay now, in effort, in sweat, in the currency of action, or will you pay later, in the coin of "I could have been"? The greatest battles are not fought with swords, but in the silent hours before dawn. There is a war that rages where no one sees it, in the space between heartbeats, in the stillness before action, in the quiet where a man decides whether he will rise or remain. You know this war. You have felt its trenches in your bones, its artillery in your chest when fear tightens its grip. You have stood on the edge of greatness and let the moment pass, telling yourself that next time you will be ready. But hear me, there is no next time that is not stolen from this time. The enemy does not rest. Doubt does not take holidays. If you will not fight now, when will you? The soul's war is won or lost in the unseen. Will you be the general or the deserter? One day you will meet the man you could have been, and he will ask you why you did not try. There will come a moment, perhaps on your deathbed, perhaps in the still hours of a sleepless night, when the specter of your potential will stand before you. Not as a stranger, but as the man you recognized in flashes, in the unguarded instants when you dared to dream. He will not shout, he will not weep. He will simply look at you with a sorrow beyond words, and in that gaze you will know the full weight of your betrayal. You had the seeds of greatness within you. You knew the path, yet you chose the detour, the delay, the easy road that led nowhere. Do not wait for that moment to repent. Look that man in the eye now and prove him wrong. You pray for calm seas when you are made to sail through tempests. You curse the wind that tests your sails. You resent the rain that soaks your clothes. You call it misfortune when the skies darken and the waves rise. But what if the storm is not your enemy? What if it is the forge where your strength is tempered? The oak that grows unshaken by wind has shallow roots. The man who knows no adversity has never tested his own depths. Do not flee the gale. Face it. Let it strip away what is weak in you. Let it teach you what calm never could. For the storm does not come to destroy you. It comes to reveal you. One day, the hourglass will empty, and the world will never know what you might have been. Time is not your friend. It is not your ally. It is a thief that steals while you sleep, a trickster that whispers later, even as it slips the noose around your neck. You think there will be another year, another chance, another dawn. But the clock does not bargain. The grave does not barter. One morning, you will wake to find that the years have run through your fingers like sand, and what will you have to show for them? A life half-lived, a song unsung, a battle never fought. Do not wait until the sands are gone. Begin now. Now, while there is still fire in your blood and steel in your spine. For when the clock strikes its final note, it will not ask if you were ready. It will only ask if you lived. The final page is worn at the edges, the ink slightly faded where a single droplet, perhaps rain, perhaps something else, once blurred the last line. The spine cracks softly as you shut the cover, the scent of aged paper and leather rising like incense. Somewhere beyond this attic, beyond the dust and silence, a clock ticks. What will you do with the time that remains?